Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition, which, after 1 million years, several centuries have passed. It has been 87 years. We are actually at the end of the game. This is the finale. This is the end. There's nothing more after this. This is the final episode. It has been a while. And, like, there are other games that are long. There are a lot of long games. But I feel as though this game, like, it's open world. I've talked about this in the main game's end credits, and I'll probably mention it again as we get through Trespasser's credits. This game feels long, largely because of its open world, meandering. But we'll wait until the credits to really talk about that. For now, we need to use the keystone to activate the alluvion leading to the Darvarad, so that we can finally stop... I forget the name of the Canary, the the one who wants to destroy the Inquisition because we're working for Fen Haral. We confronted her, and there seemed to be a big back and forth. Nobody really accomplished anything except Sarah got real horny about female Canary. Oh, is it just this one right here?
Anna told us about what happened with your hand.
No matter what happens, it has been my honor to fight beside each of you.
Right. Last time to be legend. Try to keep up.
Let us show all who would cross the Inquisition the price of their mistake.
Thank you, all of you.
Okay, Cassandra, Sarah, please stop tempting fate. You don't have... There's all this bridge for a reason. You don't have to go all the way to the... Alright, let's... So...
All right, everyone, get ready.
So I've already received a bit of a spoiler as to what, a little bit of what happens at the end of Trespasser, but to be fair, this is like a 10-year-old game. That, So the fact that I've even only gotten one spoiler for this 10-year-old piece of story, it's not bad. But I won't mention it here. But so far, Trespasser, I should probably mention...
For broken alluvions.
Where did the Canary get all these? How long have they been studying alluvions? The sooner we stop this invasion plan, the better.
That is a lot of broken alluvions. I should mention that Trespasser has been really good. And I feel like it is an excellent example of budget-friendly DLC development. In that, like, they're able to construct it with a lot of existing assets and existing pieces. And make something meaningful out of it. I still think that maybe, like, just having a plot-heavy piece... Have they been repairing alluvions? Might also have worked. But overall, I've been very happy with Trespasser. Take that. And that. A little bit of a waste of that Mark of the Assassin. Oh, another Sarabas. I thought these guys were going to be just one-time bad guys, but I guess that is not the case. Very rude of you for reinstating your magical barrier. In fact, so rude, I'm going to throw down some bees to annoy you. There we go. Illuvian studies. The writing on these pages is completely incomprehensible, even to a native speaker of Kunlat. The handwriting resembles the scratches of an inebriated chicken, but the drawings are meticulous, an excruciatingly careful study of several Illuvians, along with exploded diagrams of their inner workings.
We should hurry.
Though I feel as though the spoiler that I had received in regards to the Inquisitor's hand feels less like an act of malice now and more like an act of savior, because it does seem as though the mark is only getting worse for Lilvelin as the DLC continues. Like, the Anchor is going to...
Why are the Kunari calling this plan Dragon's Breath? What do dragons have to do with assassinating heads of state? I don't understand any of this.
We talked about this. Dragon's Breath annihilates everything in its path. Bombs. Cassandra, please. Keep up with the plot. But yeah, the Anchor was more or less kind of seen as a boon, but at the same time, like at the beginning of the game, the Anchor was causing physical pain to the Inquisitor, with the pulsing waves of the exposed tear in the sky. And just because we closed the Sky Rift doesn't necessarily mean that the... Also, interesting how we were able to just fight that one guy by himself. We closed the rift in the sky, but that does not necessarily mean the Anchor is good for you. Take that! No! Hit! Hit! Thank you. Take that. And that. And that. Up. I have no idea what... I feel like I have a hard time keeping stamina up, and I think it's partly because I accidentally sold my unequipped armor at one point during the DLC because my armor was removed so that I could have the proper regalia again, and I was not paying attention. Vivian, if you can... heal everybody. Thank you. If you can hit him. Thank you.
That's quite the door.
Well, we're quite the party. That is quite the door, actually. You're not wrong. I'm sure we need explosives of some sort. Excuse me, have you seen some explosives? Why are you standing like that? This letter was clearly written a few lines at a time over the course of multiple days, as the ink at the start has already faded slightly. Elf who is Talus. It is no longer my role to instruct others in the Kun, but I will share what I can with you if it brings you peace. You are not alone in your struggles to achieve mastery of yourself and your purpose. Many Vidithari come to the Kun filled with fear and anger. These feelings build walls, brick by brick within the self. They prevent you from seeing the others around you, from seeing the world as it is, and they convince you that you are alone in the darkness, that you must fend for yourselves. The walls are real, but the darkness and the solitude, the world that they create within the self, that is all illusion. You must work to tear down the walls if you wish to see the truth. And the truth is, no one is alone. It was the wisdom revealed to Castellan in the desert long ago. What looks like solitude is connectedness. What looks like darkness is only the space between stars. This portion of the letter is slightly newer, and the handwriting, which was exceptionally tidy at first, has become somewhat looser, as if written in a hurry. And it is not just Vidathari who struggle with these illusions. The world changes the self, and we must balance mastery upon its turning tides. Once I was an Ashkari, and I spent my days examining the philosophy of the Khun and trying to seek the enlightenment that Castellan found. But my dreams of demons took me down a new path. Here, the writing is filled with crossed-out passages, and the script becomes shaky. Some of the ink is still wet. And now with the song Liquid crossed out. And now I study the dam which holds back magic at its source. We will crossed out. It is our purpose to crossed out. Things change, little Talus. The world changes. Find purpose in people around you, and your role will be clear. Remember when crossed out. It will be hard to find wisdom in the noise. The noise is an illusion, like the darkness, but the walls are real. Remember that. Tear down the walls first, and you will see the truth. Sareth. Oh.
Red Lyrium. Do the Kunari have any idea what they're dealing with?
Of course, but they're special and careful, and nothing bad will happen.
Excavated mural, believed to be a self-portrait by Fenharal. And then we have the wolf and the man himself, Fenny, as we call him.
That didn't work.
Why not?
It's no good.
Is there another one? One sees the hunter, one flees from it. One hunts it in turn, one outwits them all. One sees the hunter, one flees from it, one hunts it in turn, one outwits them all. But I only see 2 braziers that are lit. Or available to be lit. And I can't light this one first, and I can't light that one first.
Is that an astrarium? How did the Kunari move it here?
Do be careful not to touch the pyramid, darling.
Okay, do I... And there's a supply cache, which is nice. There does not seem to be a 4th. Okay. We might have to climb back down and back up. If I light the wrong brazier first. I'm going to guess that one. And then this one. What did that do? I presume this means that this either did something that I'm not aware of, or there's another torch that I'm not aware of. The entries in this book are written in several different hands, and occasionally even different languages. From the few entries in the common tongue, it appears to be a log filled in by the various guards who have watched the gates of the Darvarad. Morning. Artifacts brought in by Hisra Kith. Original location not in manifest. As Tiscari was told, they're from ruins. Please remind agents that all relics must be properly cataloged, or the Tarbras will never stop complaining about it. Afternoon. 3 kiths deployed, including Iskari of Hisra Kith. Told her to write down locations in her manifest this time. Evening. Hisra Kith reported back. Iskari handed me manifest that just said, outside Darvarad, asking my Sten for a knife. Alright, there's the switches for the gate. But I don't see... Oh, hello? No, I was here before. Loot. It's not bad. How are we doing health-wise, by the way? Alright. Now I suppose let's go take a look at this puzzle. And try to figure out how we're actually supposed to open this.
That. Be as tricksy with all of them, and we're through.
Okay. So this is actually really, really, really simple.
Let's go.
Like I said, it's really, really, really simple. That's probably one of the easiest versions of that puzzle that I've seen in quite a while. Which I'm okay with, because this means we get to progress much faster than expected. Hello, Ben Hassereth agent. Stop running away and die. Or maybe I'm wearing a different ring. I might have changed my amulet to one that provided me with less stamina regain. Nope, hit. So I'll have to take a look at what amulet I have, because I think I did switch it out for something because I decided it probably would do more damage. But have lost stamina gain in that process. So let's take a look at that real quick like. Yeah, right now I have the eye that weeps, which is just meant... Yeah, let's switch it back to the superb amulet of Second Wind. And actually, let's take a look and see if that... Yeah, that dagger is not particularly better. Than either dagger I'm currently using. Written instructions for new workers. While some of this letter is written in Kunlat, most is in the common tongue. The letters are blocky and simple but tidy. The Dragon's Breath must continue, regardless of concerns at the Winter Palace. Many are new to the Kun and have not yet learned to trust. Your worry is understandable. The rest of the world has betrayed you. All who have been to the Darvarad know the difficulty of maintaining the specimen for extraction as long as we have. If we have delayed Dragon's Breath, we would have to dispose of the specimen. Creating Gatlock is normally a slow process, requiring much mining and careful alchemy. Venom extraction offers the only means to deliver the Dragon's Breath quickly and in large quantities. To delay Dragon's Breath is to lose any chance of bringing peace to the south without needless suffering. The Kun demands we save the workers of the South from a bloody war and deliver them into our teaching before corruption further overtakes the land. Others have voiced concern over the specimen. The Kun does not demand cruelty to any living being, but all creatures have a place and a duty under the Kun. The specimen serves as it must. When Dragon's Breath is complete, it will be extinguished quickly and painlessly, and when we slaughter animals for food. Allow your superiors to deal with the agents of Fen-Haral, and remember your role in service of the Kun. Okay, I'm thinking that Dragon's Breath is very literal. They are literally... Why does that not seem like the waypoint is actually taking me farther into this level? They're literally pulling the fire directly out of a dragon. Yeah, why is the waypoint here? Okay. Oh, hello. Why did that miss? Alright, we are going... Oh my gosh. There we go. Much better.
Stay with us.
Letters and replies. A letter with an Inquisition seal sits half buried in a pile of memos. To the Honorable Salasari, Triumvirate of the Kun. On behalf of the Inquisition, I must humbly inquire as to the hostile actions of your agents in Halam Sharal. The Iron Bull has consulted his immediate superiors and contacts within the Ben Hassarath to no avail. It was our understanding that the Inquisition and the Qunari Nation were allies. Why, then, are our people being attacked by Ben Hassarath agents, and why have we found Qunari Gatlock hidden around the Exalted Council? If your illustrious personages can offer an explanation, we'd be glad to hear it. If not, we must consider these to be acts of war. Respectfully, Ambassador Josephine Montalet. Several incomprehensible messages in Kunlat follow. A letter written in common and elegant scripture has been torn open and crumbled into a ball, but the writing is still legible. To Ambassador Josephine Montalet of the Inquisition, the Salasari have no knowledge of any operations occurring in Halam Sharal and are investigating your claims of Gatlock being used in the south. We regret that we are unable to divulge any information regarding current Ben Hassereth activities at this time, but we hasten to assure you that our partnership with the Inquisition is one we value highly. Right. I believe you. Dragon Breath Plan. This document appears to be written entirely in Kunlat, but contains a number of complicated diagrams, including a detailed blueprints of Halam Sharal and a number of other palaces and fortresses.
Unless I'm mistaken, darling, these are artifact catalogs. The Kunari must have more of these facilities to require so many. What can they be doing with all of this?
Morrigan said the key to an Illuvian could be anything, including knowledge or power. So they're stockpiling both. That's how they got the keystone and opened so many of the Illuvians we've seen.
They will have defenses in place. We must not stumble into anything blindly. Is that a copy of Swords and Shields?
Yes. Also, that line kind of felt out of place next to her other line. Oh, finally, I could use this again. Deft hands. Something, something. Okay, what is the health? Okay, you can use that. Yeah, there we go.
Dragon's Breath is an actual dragon?
Yeah, they're not exactly that brilliant.
Inquisition! Nira Tasiasara! Niraba Sadim Kata! Hisrad, we need you! Videk Katas!
Okay, is everybody showing up?
Good call leaving me behind. The Vidasala asked me to lend a hand. Nothing personal. Boss.
Iron Bowl? Okay. Well. I was not expecting that. Sorry, Iron Bolt. Guess you're dead now. Unless there's a cutscene afterwards. Nope, wrong menu. There we go. We want that. We want... Oh my gosh, no. Ah, jeez. That was a waste of a Mark of the Assassin. Oh my, Sarah, heal yourself. Thank you. I should probably heal myself too. Let's drop a regeneration potion actually. And never mind. The AI used a healing potion because I switched characters.
Friggin' bull. Piss balls. I should have known. It was my duty to have known.
All that time calling me Mom. Clever boy.
This whole time? Just friggin' Lockpawn son of a pissing shit? Urgh.
I still don't understand how he could fight beside us for years and just... Oh, come on. Let's move.
I was told I was supposed to do a quest for him, but the quest never seemed to show up, so... Oh well. Portions of this area are indecipherable kunlet, with what might be formulas in an unfamiliar number system. One section has been translated for Vidithari workers in the factory, then circled, repeatedly underlined, with arrows drawn around it by someone who is clearly very insistent that it be read. For primers, combine no more than 1 part Atashi venom with an equal amount of Deathroot Oxen, and 3 parts dissolved silverite, and 3 parts powdered silverite. Adding more venom will dissolve the casing on the primers here in the factory and fill the room with deadly gas. Whoever keeps getting the formula wrong needs to see me immediately. We have a great many primers to make on a tight schedule and cannot afford any more delays due to mistakes. Well, at the very least, probably the, like, Krem and the rest of the crew are okay. Alright, let's go after you. Find a way to stop Dragon's Breath. It's kill the dragon. I'm pretty sure that's how. Animal Handler's Logbook. The first half of... Also, by the way, this DLC is extremely dense with memos to read. It seems like there's a memo, like, every, like, few steps. The first half of this logbook appears to be notes on the care and feeding of animals in a free marcher lord's manner. After that, it shifts into practice phrases in Kunlot. Later, it begins again with the following. Beast presents chafing around limbs and tail, likely from attempts to use chains. While its natural strength remains, muscles are slack from confinement. Tardathras said she initially tried drugging the beast, but the amount required to keep it sedated changed the quality of its venom so that it was no longer useful in producing Gatlock. She says fire has kept it under control, while the heated panels keep it in a state of comfortable drowsiness. Tardathras is not as good at deception as she thinks she is. She does not like what we are doing to the beast. She calls it Atashi, which means something like great thing, and she repeats sayings from the Kun to herself when she extracts the venom. I do not disagree with her. I saw enough harm done to innocent beasts at my lord's sneering commands. The beast, the Atashi, deserves better than the pry bars and needles we use upon it each time we drain its venom gland. Tardathras says I may be needed at the Winter Palace. It is likely that some view elves with suspicion, thanks to these attacks by the agent of Fen Haral. But a human woman may still pass unnoticed among the servants. She says I may be asked to deliver more Gatlock in different containers. She says that it could be dangerous, and that if I do not return, most will assume I am dead. As said, Tardathras is not as good at deception as she thinks she is, but she is right. I did not join the Kun for this. Also, I find myself thinking that the storyline, okay, let's back up. The presence of Iron Bull as a traitor to the Inquisition, I think emphasizes, for me, the idea that this actually is the entire Qunari group, and not, say, a splinter cell of the Qunari, which I was wondering if it was just a splinter group, or the entirety of the Kun. Because it does seem as though, like, Dragon Age 2 presented the idea that, like, the Qunari within Kirkwall were separate from the Qunari outside of Kirkwall. But now we know this is the main national Qunari, because otherwise Iron Bull wouldn't have just been like, well, Inquisitor, sorry, I got called back to duty, I'm gonna have to kill you. But their plotline kind of sort of mirrors the plotline of Fen Haral, where Fen Haral saw the world's government as this kind of imperium, this kind of like dictatorship that was ruining the lives of the people that they subjugated. He makes a place so that elf slaves could remove themselves from said empire. and present themselves as not slaves while away from the Empire. And I feel as though he was essentially just saving the people he could, because what his plan was to destroy all of that Empire. And the same can be said of the Qunari. Like, the Qunari's plan right now is to destroy the Empire, all of the empires, the governments that have been fighting for power for so long, and start the world anew, much like the Fen-Haral did so many years ago. Hello. How do you...
If this creature is as vital to the Qunari operation as it looks, we should destroy it at once, my dear.
Her captors have already mutilated her. It seems needlessly cruel to kill her.
I don't think we're gonna have a choice. Like... Oh, free the dragon. How do I free the dragon?
The doors are opening. Keep doing the thing.
The gate is open. Now we move the rings.
Someone help her!
How does one move the rings?
Akashi Itwa, Kerasal.
Why do the pretty ones have to run their mouths? Dragon first, then right up her business.
Turn the rings. Those barriers are holding the dragon.
Vishara.
Huh. Okay, what moves the... Oh my gosh, am I have to do this puzzle in the middle of a fight? Okay, no, this is actually pretty straightforward.
The barrier is blocked. It cannot move.
How do I unblock it? Really? Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Vivian. Okay.
Merhaba Sadim Kata.
We've killed like 12 other dragons. Might as well throw down some bees. Oh my god. Okay, that still did all of its hits. And some bees.
Order of the Inquisition, attacking an innocent creature.
You're using this innocent creature to... to kill off like half the world, so. Alright, there he goes.
Hashara!
Ah, the rejuvenation potions are still going.
Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Ben Harel are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
Whatever you think I've done, mass assassination isn't a good moral high ground.
The South was poisoned by these elves' manipulations. It suffers just as you do now. You would have died from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold, who gave Corypheus the orb, then founded the Inquisition. Soulless, agent of Fen Harel.
Oh, she doesn't even know that Solus is Fen Harel.
Solus is an agent of Fen Harel.
Did you not know? We thought you were his ally. Solus tricked us all. He pushed a dying Qunari into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we couldn't
Okay,
have brought this
thank you for
peace
having a
and
discussion
wisdom along
now.
the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades.
Also, where did my other
Aye,
allies
then,
go?
Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solus will not outlive you.
No, really, where did they go?
Whatever else, Solus was one of us. I won't leave him for Vidasala.
Who am I talking to? They've been removed from the... It's kind of like, Oh, the party just disappeared for some reason. It's kind of like, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. When they're fighting the Black Knight, and, like, the entire group just disappears because... it was a lot easier just to have them film just two people fighting. All right, let's keep this going again. So long, Bull. Barely knew ya.
The Vidasala cannot have gotten far.
Sarah, what are you doing? But yeah, Solus definitely has a lot to answer for, considering the fact that his decision to hand over the orb to Corypheus caused the deaths of many, many, many people. And I'm sure that's going to be explored to a deeper extent in Dreadwolf.
It's going to... Everyone back!
The anchor now builds up power even faster. Using it is difficult, but discharges all accumulated focus. If the focus reaches full power, the anchor discharges uncontrollably, damaging you and your allies as well as nearby enemies.
If it keeps up like this, it will kill you. Solus must help as he did at Haven.
Hated is too smart for you, Pity, before the whole Agent of Fenny business. He better help. We're owed.
Oh my. I can see how quickly it's filling up. And basically I have to make sure that I use it. How is everybody's healing? I mean, it'll be fine in just like a second for everybody. Yeah. Might as well use the supply cache. Save our game, as is our way.
That must be where Solus is located.
Hello. No. So in a sense, this also kind of means the game from here on out is relatively easy. If I'm just going to be constantly accumulating mark energy. Continuously.
The big mage. He's always with their leader woman.
Oh yeah, he's here with the leader woman, of course. Nope, nope, I can't do anything just yet. Ah, damn it. Oh. But I did not get knocked out of stealth. Fence? Oh, you son of a... There we go. I hadn't considered that there's a cooldown on the regular mark attack. Yeesh. That does not look easy. That looks actually like a kind of painful attack to be using. Nope. Hold on. Hold. Oh yeah, might as well get people to attack. Yeah, there we go. See what I mean? Like with all this extra energy for the anchor. Like now it is too useful. Ben Hassereth, agent! There we go. And you with the shield. Oh, never mind. You with the spear. How about some of this? Okay, that made you explode. See, this works fine for now, but eventually she'll have to sleep. Take that! And some of that, and then we're gonna hit you. And then you just standing all the way over here for some reason. Okay, let's run in through this. All right. Save our game, as is our way. Okay, I'm holding on to this for almost too long.
Here he comes. Let's... You.
Also, I probably should have just used that instead. That's fine. No, Cassandra is somehow dying. Okay, regeneration potion for you. Oh my.
They have reinforcements.
Well, then their reinforcements will die. Is this a waste? A little bit. Because there is a cooldown. Okay, let's build up our... Ah.
You will not leave here, Inquisitor. Antam, Ibrasha Gadi.
Hello. More like they will not leave here. Oh, no, no, no. Son of a... Okay. Whew. I appreciate the fact that there are no bigger repercussions for falling off of pits. Here's looking at you, Dark Souls. Alright, how are we doing with the focus energy? There we go. All right. And you up there, what are you... Oh, okay, thank you. No hits? Why are... Oh my gosh. Hold on. Excellent. hold on, there's a big group of people. Might as well throw down some bees. No! No attacking my fellow allies who are weaker and are long range. Alright, let's wait for this to... There we go. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, this is a lot... I was gonna say, this is a lot of gauntlets in a row.
Your soul is dust.
Okay, let's do this. Nope. Ah. I don't understand anything that just happened in this fight. Oh, you're opening up rifts in tears in time and space, unleashing demons. Great. I'm sure that worked out for anybody. Damn it. Actually, let's throw on a rejuvenation potion from several people. And also throw some bees. I feel as though there are various graphical errors going on right now. Like why I can't see my character at the moment. Like why she keeps disappearing. I'm sure that's not intended to be like that. Oh, hold on. Oh, hello. Who invited this pride demon?
Use your mark.
Oh, I can do that. Oh no. Oh geez, I'm gonna have to save this. I wasn't able to save it in time. That's okay. I can pull it from the footage to send to a friend of mine. I'm sure I'm sure she'll get a kick out of it. Why did it close behind me? So that I could have a one-on-one conversation with Solus, the Dreadwolf, before Dragon Age Dreadwolf releases. Or are we now seeing a showcase of Fenny's power?
Evasit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata.
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Qunari to trouble me no further.
Solus.
Sir, where did you get that armor? I don't remember you having that.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
The Qunari believe you're an agent for someone who has taken the name Fen'Harel.
The Qunari reject myth and legend. If you told them of your meeting with Mythal, they would attribute it to a demon. I am no one's agent but my own. I fear that the truth is much simpler and much worse than the Qunari believe.
You're Fen'Harel.
I was Solus first. Fen'Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
Our legends about you are wrong. I saw the truth as we traveled the crossroads.
You saw another story, written in desperation to give me more credit than I ever deserved.
You were a hero, Solus.
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fen'Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dathara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. Your legends are half right. We were immortal. It was not the arrival of humans that caused us to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
You banished the false gods. You didn't kill them.
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
You said that the Elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. A crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evanurus.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people.
But
She protected them.
Flemeth only
She was a
carried
voice
the
of
soul of Mythal. She was
In
not
their lust for
Mythal
power, they killed her.
herself.
The Evanurus were elven mages. How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evanurus.
You know, I would actually argue for fewer camera angles. Like, having all of these cuts. Like, they want to show you personal images of the character, wide shots of the city. But we don't need a camera cut to a slightly different camera angle of the same character.
That's the past. What about the future?
The
I lay in
future.
dark and dreaming sleep while countless
What is
wars
that?
and ages
What is that
passed.
from?
I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurus down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the Elven people, even if it means this world must die.
Why does this world have to die for the elves to return?
A good question, but not one I will answer. You have always shown a thoughtfulness I respected. It would be too easy to tell you too much. I am not Corypheus. I take no joy in this. But the return of my people means the end of yours. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
The Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to Corypheus.
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it. The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him.
But he didn't
Then I
realize
claimed the
that
orb.
Corypheus resurrects.
I did not foresee a Tevinter Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
What would have happened if Corypheus had died, and you'd recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
I never thought of you as someone who would do that, Solus.
Thank you. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you.
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
Whatever your reasons, we couldn't have defeated Corypheus without you.
Your doubts are misplaced. Everything you accomplished, you earned.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization. And now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Isn't it? Perhaps we should ask your friend, the Iron Bull. Tell me, where is he? Do you know how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep? The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort.
Thanks.
In any event, it is done.
I guess we owe you for that one too.
I hope it gives your people some final peace.
You control the Illuvians now.
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Qunari stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
Yes, I'm sorry. And we are almost out of time. The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
So that I could die in comfort? Thanks.
You don't need to destroy this world. I'll prove it to you.
I would treasure the chance to be wrong once again, my friend. Take my hand. I'm sorry. Live well, while time remains.
I was gonna say, are we stopping there?
Something must be done, but we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Qunari.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place.
The Inquisition did not cause this threat. We informed the Summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Qunari spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, none of us would be here.
I'm back at court.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as
Oh,
a legitimate
there goes my arm.
not a glorified
Yep, this was the
mercenary
spoiler that I had known about.
Inquisitor.
Okay, let's see. Our work is done. The Inquisition will be disbanded. Efforts against Solus will be weaker, but more secure. The Inquisition will serve divine Victoria. Efforts against Solus will be stronger, but risk corruption. Huh. Most likely there hasn't been a... There hasn't been a, consequence for this yet. So, essentially, if I try to look up what would be the consequences of this action, they don't exist yet, because they would be in Dragon Age 4. So basically, I have to make a decision based on my own conscience. Like, I feel as though we want stronger efforts against Solus. Ultimately, it looks like the choices are disband the Inquisition or keep it together. Disbanding, Solus's efforts will be weaker, but the corruption is going to be, or the risk of corruption isn't there. Efforts against Solus will be stronger, but risk corruption. But here's the thing, like, any organization has the risk of corruption. We have to have belief in the Inquisitor, in the War Council, that we are doing the right thing, in Divine Victoria.
You all know what this is? A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, Find those responsible and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. I'm proud to say we accomplished that goal. We will honor the sacrifices of those who gave their lives in defense of what we stood for, and still stand for. Because our work is not done. Where we led in war, we will now serve in peace. The Inquisition will act as Divine Victoria's personal honor guard. Answering directly to her, we will transition from a military force into a peacekeeping organization. My own adventuring days may be done, but the Inquisition and its mission...
I still got one hand. I can still stab fools.
I suppose.
I was like, wait, who's saying that they suppose? Ah, the newest book. Straight from the author. Oh, look at this group. Vivian, what? I know you are a goddess, but still. Josephine, thank you for coming back. And the breach in the sky still looks... Over the next several months, the Inquisition carefully gave over many of the duties it had held. Do I have to push buttons, or is this going to... As the Divine's personal guard and peacekeeping force, the Inquisition shrank to a more manageable size. Makes sense. Like, we didn't need a giant army for... Many who had served went home, though the remaining force was still enough to give pause to any who might threaten the Divine's plans. Those who served the new Inquisition were tested and checked thoroughly, in the hope of ferreting out any more spies within its ranks. We did have both Qunari and Soulless spies, so... With the Dragon's Breath disrupted and any hope of a swift victory dashed, the Qunari retreated back to the north. Few knew what debates were waged in Par Valen, but not long after the Exalted Council, the Qunari launched new attacks against Tevinter, as Feni was expecting. Their aggression caught the already unstable Imperium off guard. Tevinter was soon mired in a war many feared could spread across Thedas. Cassandra continued her reign as Divine Victoria, rebuilding fractured alliances and settling the Inquisition into its new role as her personal guard. Her efforts were successful, and for a time, southern Thedas saw peace. Cassandra also spent time in the Hunterhorn Mountains north of Orlais, where she worked to rebuild the Seekers. Cassandra has been very busy. For a time, the new Seekers remained reclusive, showing no interest in worldly affairs and working to a purpose few outside their order could guess. Some believed that the end of the Inquisition as it had been heralded the destruction of the fledgling College of Enchanters. Having clashed with the Circle, the college now found itself without support against the newly elected Grand Enchanter, Vivian. Wait, is Vivian in the circle or the... Fortunately, Grand Enchanter Vivian grudgingly agreed not to destroy its terrified leaders as a personal favor to Divine Victoria. Okay, she's now the Grand Enchanter of the Circle. The two institutions settled into an uneasy coexistence across the South, vying for power. Liliana continued to act as the Inquisition spy master in its final months as an independent organization. During this time, she shared many of her responsibilities with her most trusted agents, including Charter, Rector, and Harding. Many believed that Liliana feared what lay on the horizon was grooming successors in anticipation of the challenges ahead. With the Inquisition now answering to the Divine, Sarah joined the Inquisitor in officially retiring from scaring people in high places. By formal account and agreement, both would lead boring, safe lives, safe lives nowhere special, doing not much at all. And with that comforting lie, those in power continued their fragile lives as though all was back to normal. Do I have a hook hand to help out Sarah? Meanwhile, Red Jenny, an entirely separate person, not at all collectively embodied by Sarah the Inquisitor and countless friends, continued to make a difference, or just have fun, where and when the impulse struck. With frequent visits to her Whittle, of course. I must have missed... Is that the Diagna? The perhaps most unnerving was Sarah's standing offer to the Divine. When the knobs piss about with your left hand or right, call on Red Jenny to give them 2 fingers. I don't know what that means. Varric took up the role of Viscount with the help of his friend Hawk, rebuilt Kirkwall's damaged infrastructure. Alright, we are definitely getting a very extended epilogue. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as the major trade hub of the Free Marches. I'm sure he's very happy being a Viscount. He continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchants Guild and the Prince of Starkhaven. It's for the best, really. You don't need to pay attention to Sebastian. It was never clear if the Iron Bull knew he would be forced to turn upon the Inquisition, or if he was lying the entire time. Regardless, after his death, Tal Vishoth mercenaries across Orlais and Ferelden were looked upon with suspicion. Those who remained in the south found their lives even harder as a result. But as long as Krem and the Bard lived a happy life, that's what we need. After the Inquisition transitioned to a peacekeeping role, Cullen continued to serve as commander of its forces. Under his leadership, the Inquisition protected the Divine's interest while enforcing new standards of security. Cullen also expanded the Chantry's treatment for Templars whose minds were taken by lyrium, as well as those who wished to cease lyrium usage. Hold on. This epilogue has gone on too long for... And as chaos reigned in the north and threats to the divine lurked in every shadow, Cullen remained ready to serve. The epilogue has gone on too long for the power save options. Dorian returned to Deventer to take his father's place in the Magisterium, which means he's gotten pulled into the war against the Qunari. As rumors flew about the Imperium's infighting, Dorian was spoken of often as a voice of resistance against corruption. Along with Magister Maveris Talani, he formed a group called the Lucerni to restore and redeem Deventer, a fight many thought hopeless. Those fighting by Magister Pavis' side noted that he kept in constant communication with the Inquisitor via message crystal. Whether for vital information or for moral support, these talks seemed to give Dorian the strength to continue his fight. Tom Rainier was shown mercy when none was deserved and set on a path of redemption. This gift, so compassionately given, needed to be shared. Freed from his obligations to the Inquisition, Rainier traveled Thedas, giving hope to the condemned and the forgotten. In the deepest prisons and pits of Thedas, he found, if not goodness itself, its potential. By showing faith in those who had none, Rainier lifted them up and made them into something better than they were. After easing the Inquisition's transition into the Chantry, Josephine returned to Antiva and her family. What about our romance? Thanks to the Inquisitor's help, the Montilliettes were once again permitted to trade in Orlais. The next few years were a busy time as many ships with the Montillette crest were built and set sail from Antiva's harbors. Soon, Revaini pirate captains with an ancient feud against Josephine's ancestors took to the seas, determined to rekindle the rivalry. But why? Apart from Josephine's sister Yvette, nearly eloping with a dashing pirate prince on one occasion, Lady Montillette took the development in stride. She led a war effort, pirates are nothing. Cole returned to the Fade, saying that there was more pain coming and that he knew where compassion would be most needed. And he got rid of his stupid hat. He promised that his friends in the Inquisition would remember him, and that where the hurt was greatest, he would help. After the events at the Winter Palace, elves left the Inquisition under mysterious circumstances, as did elven servants across Thedas. Do they support Solus? Do they support Feni? None could say where they went, but those who believe the Inquisitor's story about Fen'Haral wonder just how large the Dreadwolf's forces were. And what the ancient elven rebel had planned. I mean, it's not like most of these civilizations treated elves that much better. An odd time to throw down that achievement, but I'll accept it.
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
Maintaining the Inquisition, even as a peacekeeping force, leaves us vulnerable to agents of the Dread Wolf.
But also gives us the strength to respond.
We will need to be careful.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.
All right, that was Dragon Age Inquisition, Trespasser, and the whole game. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. That was, such a long time coming. Trespasser was really good, I've got to say. I wonder if there was something I could have done in the main story to prevent the death of Iron Bull. I'll have to look that up later. But for now, I feel like it was an excellent epilogue to the main game. Both with its extended look at the characters, the fate of the Inquisition, the build-up of the Qunari as the enemy, as another side enemy in the next game, the revelation of Fenny as Fen-Haral, as well as his own plan. And I really like him as a villain. It's not just evil guy doing evil things. We spend so much time with him in the main game, and then we spend this time in Trespasser understanding his motivations. And once again, I find myself repeating something I've said in the credits of the main game, is that I feel like this game has amazing moments in storyline and character development, but a lot of those moments are just buried underneath dozens upon dozens of hours of directionless meandering through open worlds. And while it really tried to kind of mirror the freedom that you had in Dragon Age Origins, in Dragon Age Origins, you had this freedom to just go about the main quest as you saw fit. You could go to the dwarves, you could go to the mages, you could go to the elves, and do these storylines in whichever order you preferred, utilizing open worlds to do that only created a gap, an obstacle between you and the main story, because a large amount of this open world questing.
A new book? All this shit is weird. Oh, Varric, that is a
Oh, that's
terrible
about the
plan.
Inquisitor.
What are you even thinking?
But yeah,
The sky churned like a rolling sea on a dark and stormy night, centered on a gaping hole that led to the arse end of nowhere. A hole that spit up many things that day, comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble. It's about the Inquisition.
But it's this kind of constant set of checklists.
The inn of the tavern cut the silence like it owed the carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down, mostly down. Not playing, weirdy, she said, gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a row. Sarah made the subtext text, which suited me fine.
Okay, open world meandering, you go around, you do quests, but none of them necessarily feel as substantial.
The enchanter swirled into the room like a drop of beautiful poison spreading in a wineglass. She sized me up with a glance. I'm so glad you made it, my dear, she said. I am Madame de Fair, the most terrifying person you shall ever meet.
Okay, I like the fact that Cassandra is reading these in the voices of the characters. From the point of view of Varric.
Marianne enfolded Alphonse in an embrace as warm as a serpent's kiss. I always knew I could count on your support. The Count did not feel the bite of her poisoned dart until it was too late. Even if it requires your death.
But like Trespasser just showed like the important part of Dragon Age Inquisition.
Drops of rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwall's hand. The silver-eyed wings of valor, they mean nothing. He flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. You don't know what I've done. You don't know me. So romantic.
Oh my god, Cassandra reading in this gives me life.
Cole moved like a shadow that also moved like a knife. A shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. It's a riddle, he whispered. A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone. That makes as much sense as anything Cole says.
But there was no collecting of... the only thing you collected was dog bones.
Do you place your herald above the law, Ambassador? Whose law, my lady? Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management. We are the law.
Sure thing, Judge Dredd. But yeah, it is, like I've already mentioned, like I feel it was very cost-effective in its reuse of assets.
We left our mark on adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning. If you'd caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double. What is even happening here?
I also don't know. But it focused on the important parts of what an epilogue should be. What is happening to the characters.
Iron Bull was a great slab of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry sister's old sins. Come on, he barked, not looking back as he entered. The dancer with the great rack comes on in 5. That is spot on, actually.
And it focused on developing the storyline, the character, and so much of that is lost in the constant open world meandering.
The commander had the look of a Templar who had seen the worst of humanity, yet still had the time to style his hair. This isn't just a war, he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. It's the only war. Cullen! That's Cullen!
Exactly. Like if the entire game was like this, I would replay this game more often. If I didn't have to worry about fetching an elf fruit.
Class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. The name's Dorian, he glared. D-O-R-I-A-N. Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad time. A toad? That's hardly credible.
I'm sure he was just filling the blanks.
The bold elf spun, mage staff crackling like the city after a good man's murder. You're crazy, the Red Templar cried in terror. Moonlight glinted off ears like the knives you never see coming. Better to fade out than burn away. Ugh, Varric. Wait, where am I? I don't... Oh, here it is. The Seeker clutched at my vest, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful. Varric, I was wrong about everything, she sobbed. Could you find it in your noble heart to forgive me? That dwarf, he put me in the book. I'm in the book. I am reading the shit out of this.
Very nice. To all of you who played Dragon Age Inquisition, who laughed, who cried, and reached out on social media, who made fan art and comics and cosplay and jokes, thank you. Dragon Age Inquisition was a labor of love. Without you, it would never have been possible. Your support and your passion touched us deeply. We hope that in some small way this game touched you as well. Bear your blade and raise it high. The Dragon Age team. This makes me a little bit sad, considering how much has happened in BioWare since then. The BioWare of now does not necessarily reflect the BioWare of then. And I hope that Dragon Age Dreadwolf is going to be an excellent game. And I worry that it's not. But for now, though, got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.